Hey, beautiful people, good morning to you. So, beautiful people, but I tell you, social media, I don't know. It's like when you're driving a car, no matter how you have your windows up and your air conditioning unit on, if there's a vehicle that has some sort of a malfunction and you see all of the smoke coming out, it seems to seep through your muffler and it comes through the vents, especially if it's in a bad case, in a bad state. You know, like when somebody have real bad belly and them just a fart up or poop up the place and it just gets, it gets, I don't even know what to call it. It's almost like the poop hugs you as the recipient. So you're nearby and it comes and it cloaks you like a jacket and doesn't move. And you have some chairs, especially in own motor vehicles, that because that maybe that I know Pupina is closed, but me call them Pupina and stay. That the vehicle has to be changed, the seats have to be changed because they have a metamorphosis has created and transformed the chair in a poop, in a fart chair. That's the smell. So when you sit on it, it exudes fart. And I'm saying that as it relates to our women, unfortunately, in Jamaica. And again, people, I used to say this, and I haven't said it in a while. Please don't tell me about other countries. Each country has to sit on their own tub, on their own butt. I'm going to deal with my country. I know that other countries have similar infractions, misconducts, and bliss. I do understand that. But let's deal with our country first. Every now and again, I may delve and dabble into talking about another person's country. A young lady came on. She seemed to be, late teens, she seemed more late teens, but sometimes people can look youthful and they're much older or they're older. But let's give her teens to 20, to about that. I had to play it twice because even her languaging was a bit off. I couldn't get her initially at first. And then I played it again and heard what she said. Or I think I played it 2 or 3 times because I said to myself, no, she didn't say what she said. I know these things are real, but when I see it become more out and somewhat frequent in a sense, I said, okay, we need to address this as a people. And she's making the argument of the kind of substance that she brings to a relationship. You know, one of the things that when I read the book of Proverbs, you know, whether you're Bible believing or not, but when you look at the different elements and the criteria of what makes this woman the kind of woman that ought to be praised by her husband, by her family. And by the way, when we say praise, we're talking high commendations. All right, so we're not talking like when you're praising God. You're made to worship and to you offer your praises unto God. So it's a different kind of praise. When it says a woman who fears the Lord ought to be praised, it is talking about you extend high commendations. You know, like when you give somebody trophies and medals and certificates, monies, whatever it is, as accolades for their contributions, you know, whether in a country, in a company, or for something that they would have done. Similarly, we do it in terms of the home. So it talks about her rising early in the morning. So before it actually talks about her rising early in the morning, and I'm looking at the King James's version of the Proverbs 31 woman. So this is a woman who will bring a substance to a man, all right? And it says, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. So she will do all that is required to come to aid to her husband and her children. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maid servants. So she's looking out for everyone. She considers a field and buys it from her profits, and she plants a vineyard. So we're talking about an excellent steward of not just relationships, money, anything that is entrusted to her to bring in an increase. She girds herself with strength and strengthen her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, to those who are, I think those who are struggling, and her hands hold the spindle. Oh, sorry, right. Yeah, it is different. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. So not just the poor, those who are in need. She's not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed in scarlet. She makes sure that they're all kept. She makes a tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Now, if you notice, it said that her husband is known in the city. So the young lady that I was talking about, she said, so she was talking about her bringing value to the relationship. So she prefaced it and she said, me we get your hood suck off. Yeah, me bring substance to the relationship. Me name whatever her name is. And then it ended. Now, what she fails to understand, sex and food are priority for men. We do understand that. Sex, sexual intercourse, and a good meal. These are priority for men. Now, if the man is very known out there, and when he sees her with him, the first thing that comes to his mind is not necessarily all of the criteria that I just read about what the Proverbs 31 woman would do for her household and for her husband. And notwithstanding, even though it did mention about she provides sexual intercourse for her husband, it is a silent indication that she does that she doesn't. She follows what 1 Corinthians, is it 7 or chapter 7, I think. Yes. Talks about that your body belongs to your husband as a wife, and vice versa. The husband body belongs to your husband. To the wife body belongs to the husband body belongs to his wife. And the only time they withdraw from having sex is when they agree together to take some time for fasting and prayer. They agree together, but you don't withhold, because the body belongs to each other. So when they see that man, what is the first thing that will come to his mind is that his hood is being sucked off, according to the young lady. That is a substance that is the highlight of her substance that she's bringing to the relationship. The book of Titus encourages older women to guide the younger women so that they know how to operate as wives in their own household, so that they become that Proverbs 31 woman. And we have failed our young people. I am not even going to blame that girl, because it's what she has been exposed to, and it's the things that she has been taught. Maybe not overtly, it could have been covertly, it could have been subliminal, things that she has been exposed to. And that is why at her age, her substance to bring to the relationship is sucking off a man's hood. That is a substance. That's the only criterion mentioned in bringing substance to a relationship, that she feels comfortable to bring to the fore publicly. Because obviously silently it must be understood that once you're in a romantic relationship, that sex would be the order of the day. but her substance is sucking off a man's hood. Oh, what a web we weave. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel.